And look at that. Just. That's tight. But just, I think. Super long series Torx jobby. T30 Torx. And the bolts are out. Hooray. And, as is traditional, in the ashtray. Always seems to be where they've ended up being when I've done anything like this. But there we go. It's out. Right, steering wheel off. All this lot off. And then we can slide the dash out. I can decide what on earth to do with it in a minute. You know, I'm pretty comfortable in here. It's just nice. I feel chilled. This is my car. It's always been my car. Well, 15 years being my car. And I was just having a bit of a pour through the glove box. There's bits and pieces I think, I must get that done. The handles I think could do with being painted in just the right colour. This one's actually really good. I think this is an original on this side. Anyway, things like that. I was having a pour through, and the things that you forget that are in your glove box, and I thought you've probably been the same as me. You put things in there, you just tend to forget you've done it. An iPod. I wondered where I put that. I had no idea where it's been, but there it is anyway. iPod in there. Goodness, that must be 4 years ago. An original Ford badge. Original, new old stock. These ones in the right size are worth a fortune now, and in the right colour because there's a dark blue and a light blue. But yeah, there you go. Bits and pieces inside that I've found. I'm going to strip the interior down now, take out the controls for the heater controls, take out the controls, take the heater controls out. That's what I'm going to do. Take off the steering wheel, steering shroud, the indicators, wipers, cluster, everything else. Take it all out, and then unbolt the dash, lift it out, and away we go. Happy days. I always hate doing this bit. You've got to lever the horn press out, and I just don't like doing it against the steering wheel, but that's how it happens. You sort of have to get a tool under there, screwdriver I suppose if you're feeling so inclined, or in my case a trim tool. Ta-da! And then you just basically pop it in and pull this section out. Try not to break anything. There it goes. And behind there, if you can see, is the nut to undo. I think it's a 24. When you take the steering wheel off, two things. Firstly, make sure you take the steering lock off, because otherwise, and I've put on my keys now, because otherwise it just gets a bit upset. You want to have it in the right place. Right. The next thing is, before you take the wheel off, don't undo the nut the whole way. So just undo it so there's just a bit on there, so when you pull the steering wheel, it doesn't come flying completely in the face. Not the voice of experience, but I've seen plenty of people do it, so there you go. Oh, and always make sure that it's facing the correct way. So your steering wheel is facing the right way up. Now you might notice that the steering column is slightly off on this. That's because this car at some point in its life, someone broke in and tried to steal it apparently, long before I had it, long before I had it. And it wasn't me. So they bent the steering column. Now, I've had this thing in bits, and I've got a spare column tube and everything else, and I could change it, but I haven't, because it's part of the history of it. So I've just left it. There we go. Guessed wrong, it's a 22. There we go. I've just cracked it off, it hasn't just come undone. But there you go, 22mm. Right, everything's undone. So, here we go. Oh, two 10mm, by the way. One here, one at the back, I think you have to undo. I completely forgot. It's been over 10 years since I've taken the dashboard out, so a long, long time, but I think we're free. I'm not going to lie, it was a mission. A real problem to get to get the thing out with the door not being able to open all the way, and well, it's a bit of a rat's nest behind here. Have a look at this. Here we go. Yep. So I didn't need to take that 10mm off, but I did need to take that 10mm off. Tired now. Back down the garage again. Now, I thought what I might do is give the engine bay a bit of a clean up. with some wipes, just because it makes myself feel better, because this place is a mess. So tonight, tidying up, exciting. In case you're wondering, I'm not always wearing the exact same shirt. Sometimes I am, because occasionally I just pop down here for half an hour, but these are my old rubbishy ones. But I also have several of the same. Just thought, why is he always wearing the same clothes? Yeah, and you, cracking on. What have I done? Well, concentrated on this side over here where there was some extra wiring where I'd extended the wiring loom through, and I seem to have left myself a ridiculous amount of slack, which is all on the floor out there. Anyway, I've tied all that up, used new connections, heat shrunk everything, and then mounted it back properly. Unfortunately, I'm not the only person that's had a go at this wiring loom in the past, and it's a mess. But it is, believe it or not, slightly more sorted than it was. So everything that's a dash function, that's the that little one there, I was just moving out of the way, I think is the choke cable. But anyway, everything that's a dash function is up the top here, including these bits, which I think, well, one of them's oil pressure, I think, oil pressure, maybe, who knows. I think it's for the dash oil pressure switch. I've got the connectors that go onto the back of the cluster. I think maybe rev counter. Anyway, there's a few bits there that I need to test to figure out what they belong to. I'm sure I can probably find it out. If you know, please do let me know. That is a green and yellow wire for that one, and this one is a dirty one, grey and brown maybe. Anyway, if you've got a wiring diagram for one of those, this is originally a CVH with a choke and a carburetor, so not an EFI vehicle. That's what I'm sort of getting to. Anyway, wiring for the ignition, etc., indicators and all that kind of jazz all here. As you can see, it's also been modified in the past. I've got an extra switch drive, maybe, and other bits and pieces which go down to the fuel pump wiring. The box to remote global open, global close the windows is tucked down there, which did work once upon a time, doesn't seem to be working now. And then just an absolute mess of wiring, which is, as I suppose you kind of hope in a way, been taped all in black tape, just to try and make it look a little bit more anonymous, I guess, and trying to make it harder for people to work out how to bypass it, but nevertheless, it's there. So yeah, a bit more tidying. Oh, and I've got the dash in the back, wrapped in blankets and put up at an angle. That's it for tonight then. A lot more wiring to do, obviously. When I feel compelled to do it. Not sure about the alarm system, what I'm going to do with that, whether I'm going to untape it all and work my way back through and then retape all the loom correctly, clear it up as it needs to be. And I need to mount the box for the alarm, which has just been rattling around by the dash for the last 10 years. Not installed by me, professionally installed. Part of me thinks get it properly removed, get it reinstalled, or replace it, I'm not sure. But it does work. Excuse me. It's very late. Thank you as always for joining us, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and to find us on the socials. We are at UK Motor Talk pretty much everywhere.